Hello and welcome to this video, which is going to be on how to test for positive ions. Now it's quite a simple procedure but gives quite dramatic results. So I have 5 test tubes set up here, and we're going to put 5 different ions in them, where we're interested actually in the positive ion. So in the first one, I'm going to put Fe2+, so iron 2+. So I'm just going to put about 1 milliliter or so into there. I'm going to put iron 3+ into the second one. I'm going to put copper 2+ into the third one. I've then got zinc 2+ in number 4, and then in number 5 I've got calcium 2+. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to make the precipitate of the hydroxide of those ions. So to do that, what we're actually going to do is we're going to add sodium hydroxide, and it's a reaction between the soluble salt, in this case the soluble iron 2+ salt. You don't need to know at this stage what the counter ion is, what the negative ion is. All you need to know is that it's soluble, and we're going to react it with sodium hydroxide, and we're going to form the insoluble iron 2 hydroxide. Okay, so the iron 2 hydroxide, when I add the sodium hydroxide to it, and I'm hoping you'll be able to see this here, it actually forms a green precipitate. Forms a green precipitate. Precipitate means it is insoluble. It is a salt that is insoluble. Okay, so my iron 3+ now is currently yellow, but it is soluble. It's a soluble salt. Now I'm going to add my sodium hydroxide again, and I'm going to form now another precipitate, but in this case it is kind of a reddy brown kind of precipitate, kind of almost rust coloured in a way. Please note that both of these are iron, but this is the Fe2+ ion, and this is the Fe3+ ion. Okay. We've then got copper, so this is copper 2+, and we're going to add sodium hydroxide to it, and it forms a precipitate, and you can see that by the solid that's in there, and it forms a blue precipitate. Okay, so blue precipitate. This one is zinc 2+. It forms a white precipitate. And calcium 2+ also forms a white precipitate. But what we can actually do is we can't currently tell the difference between these two. They both form white precipitates. However, if I add extra sodium hydroxide to my zinc 2+, then what actually happens is it then creates a soluble salt. Okay, I just need to add a little bit more just to show you that properly. Oh. There you go. and it fully dissolves. Whereas when we add excess to the calcium, it still stays as a precipitate. And if you can clearly see the difference between them now. Okay, so we have our iron 2 forms a green precipitate, iron 3 forms a red precipitate, copper 2 forms a blue precipitate, zinc forms a white precipitate which then dissolves on adding excess sodium hydroxide, and calcium 2, which forms a white precipitate which does not dissolve when we add more hydroxide. Thank you for watching. Replay if you need to. Bye bye.